And welcome to the Rodeo, Part 1, Episode 14 of John's Eclectic Storytime Adventures. John wiped a thin streak of dust from the lens of his Canon R5 Mark II and raised it to his eye just as the chute gate slammed open. With a roar, a bronco erupted into the arena beneath a young cowboys holding on for dear life. The horse's muscles twisted in defiance, hooves striking at the air, its back arching like a coiled spring. John fired off shots in a rhythmic burst, click, 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 each frame capturing the airborne struggle, the tension, the fury, the fleeting hope of staying mounted for 8 full seconds. It was a Thursday evening, and the local rodeo grounds were alive with anticipation. The sun dipped low behind the arena stands, painting the sky in ribbons of orange and lavender. Dust curled up in golden clouds around the hooves of horses and the boots of riders, as John worked the perimeter, moving between the rails and fences with the practiced grace of someone who knew just where to be and when. Even before the national anthem played, the bronco riding had begun, with the crowd still filtering into the bleachers. There was no time wasted here. This was real rodeo. No theatrics, no fluff. Cowboys took their rides in rapid succession, some hanging on for the full 8 seconds, others thrown down hard into the dirt. John caught both the triumphs and the falls. The young man flung sideways as the bronco spun left, unexpectedly, another skidding on his back, while popping up with triumphant fist raised high. John switched seamlessly between stills and video, capturing both the chaos and the poise, the brutal artistry of bronc riding. The moments were fleeting, and he hunted them with ruthless focus. Then everything paused. The crowd hushed. The announcer's voice came, rich and deep, rolling over the arena. "Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as we welcome the First Cavalry Horse Detachment from Fort Cavasso." John stepped back from the fence and turned to face the entrance gate. From the corner of the arena, the First Cavalry emerged with solemn elegance. Mounted troops in crisp uniforms, their horses polished and shining beneath the overhead lights. The lead rider carried the American flag, its fabric whispering through the air as the formation entered in perfect step.
So many times we take for granted of what we share. You see, it is men and women that put on a uniform each and every day to protect what we have. Is something that we should be proud of. Those that serve in our Army, our Navy, our Air Force, our Marines, our Coast Guard, our Space Force. Along with that, the men and women in uniform are talking about our first responders, police department, fire department, EMS, our Border Patrol. You see, each and every day, they give up simple task of watching their kids say their...
John hit record on his camera. He held steady as the flag dipped and the soldiers aligned. The flag now front and center. The notes of the national anthem poured through the speakers, and not a sound came from the crowd, except the soft murmurs of children echoing the last few bars. Through his lens, John watched as the colors were presented with ceremony and pride. He zoomed in on the soldiers' composing faces, the flickering movements of their horses, the soft rise and fall of the banner in the cooling evening breeze. In the background, the crowd was a sea of stillness, hats held over hearts, heads bowed.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Oh man, one more time, how many of you are proud to be an American here on the Thursday night in Killeen? Well, it is the night number one, Nile Maxwell, Killeen, bringing rodeo action to you. It is military appreciation.
After the anthem, a tall man in uniform with 3 stars gleaming on each shoulder stepped forward. Lieutenant General Admiral, commander of 3 Corps, began his remarks with gravity and respect. John snapped photos of the general silhouetted against the arena lights, his hands gesturing as he spoke of courage, community, and the enduring bond between soldier and land. Horses nickered softly in the background as the general spoke, the smell of leather, sweat, and fresh earth filling the air. Behind the chutes, the First Cavalry riders were dismounting and tending to their horses. John moved quickly among them, capturing candid shots. A young trooper adjusting a bridle, another brushing down a speckled gray mare. Beside the trailer, an authentic chuck wagon stood on display. Wooden wheels, canvas top, pots and pans hanging from hooks. He photographed every detail: the worn leather, the fire-scorched pans, the weathered wood, artifacts of a different time, still very much alive. Then, laughter erupted from the far end of the arena. John turned his camera just in time for the next event, mutton bustin'. Children aged 4 to 6, each outfitted in oversized helmets and vests, took turns clinging to the backs of sheep that bolted from the chute with comic determination. Most of the little riders didn't last more than a few seconds, tumbling into the dirt to the cheers and giggles of the crowd. But 3 children, brave, determined, managed to hang on for what seemed like eternity in kid time. One girl made it 42 feet before toppling off, arms flailing, but grinning ear to ear as she stood up and waved at the crowd. John's shutter clicked away, capturing the blur of wool, the tight clutches of tiny fists, and the proud expressions of kids walking off the arena with dusty smiles. After the laughter faded, the mood shifted again. The Broncos were back. John got himself into position at the chute for another round of raw power. This time he focused on the older cowboy in the bright blue shirt. As the bronco beneath him twisted violently, John captured a perfect frame. Just before the cowboy was launched skyward, his face locked in an expression that said, clearly, "Not this again." That moment, both comedic and wild, ended with the man hitting the ground in a cloud of dust. John could not help but smile as he lowered his camera, already knowing that photo would be a favorite. 3 more Bronco riders followed, their mounts kicking nearly 6 feet into the air, front hooves pawing the night sky, riders holding on like men trying to rope a tornado. Each fall, each scramble to safety was a testament to the rodeo spirit. Get thrown, get up, ride again. Then came the final, most dangerous act of the night, bull riding. Steers, angry and unwilling, snorted and stomped in their pens. The clowns, brave in their ways most people never understood, took their places, ready to distract and protect. The first cowboy mounted Bodacious, a massive tan-colored bull with the reputation to match his name. As the gate opened, the beast exploded into the arena. The rider lasted maybe 5 seconds before he was hurled into the dirt. The bull, still furious, turned on him, but the rodeo clowns dove in, one using a barrel as a decoy. John hit record. The bull slammed the barrel, sending it flying several feet into the air. The crowd gasped. The clown rolled away just in time. The camera caught every second. The horned fury, the flying barrel, the thundering hooves. 2 more cowboys tried their luck. Both were seasoned, both thrown in under 10 seconds. The crowd roared with every toss, every close call. And just like that, the night drew to a close. The lights dimmed, the announcer thanked the crowd, and the bleachers began to empty. Parents lifted their tired children. Cowboys leaned against the fences, head bowed in exhaustion and relief. John sat alone on the edge of the arena wall, reviewing the day's work. Photos of courage, of chaos, of color and contrast. Videos that showed the beauty in motion, the kind of work he always chased. Dust clung to his jeans. His ears rang with the echoes of hooves and applause, but his heart was full. As he packed up his gear and walked towards his truck under the starlit Texas sky, he could not help but think, all this just to ride for 8 seconds. And yet somehow, those 8 seconds told a lifetime of stories, and he had captured every one. And thank you for watching The Rodeo, Part 1. If you enjoyed this episode, please join us for the next episode, Episode 15, Birds in the Rain. Thank you. These are some of the images that were used throughout this presentation. In this information, you can see that these are not AI-generated photos. The camera and lens and date and time that these photos were taken is presented. Thank you. And once again, I hope you enjoyed this presentation of The Rodeo, Part 1. If you enjoyed this presentation, please subscribe and consider giving this a like. Thank you.